What warrant? Yeah, I know. I'll just sit in here then.
Yeah, I left a letter the other day.
Right, who are you from?
I'm from Marston.
Perfect, right. So, this is about what exactly?
And you're not the lady I need to talk to, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter, this is my property, so...
Mate, I'm not trying to be difficult, honestly, I'm really not.
I'm not, I just want you to know that you're trespassing, your implied rights of access are gone, yeah? You've got no right being here.
Ah yes, the classic, implied right of access removal notice. This kind of notice may apply to members of the public who don't have lawful authority to attend private property. However, certified enforcement agents acting under Section 14, Schedule 12 of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcement Act 2007 do have statutory powers in certain circumstances. Because of that, these notices generally have no legal effect against agents executing a valid warrant.
There's no contract, there's no claim, there's no obligation, okay? So you're acting illegally right now, you know that, don't you? Yeah, I've got it on camera too. I've got it on camera too, so... Yeah. Well, you can't be on a private property without invitation. If your implied rights of access have been removed, you're trespassing. So if I say, get off my property, I'm going to fine you £5,000 in your personal capacity, I've got a right to do that. I've done it with JBW, and I've done it with one source. That's why they won't take any debts anymore. Now, the debt that you think that we're obligated to pay, yeah, there's no contract for that initial debt in the first place. So I thank your company for purchasing that debt, but it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist because there's no contract, okay? Secondly, there's no contract between Marston's and Katie, okay? So until you provide that contract, you're acting unlawfully here. You know that, don't you? And illegally. Unless you get off the property, I will fine you £5,000, and I've got it on camera too. So it's your call.
He claims the agent would owe him a £5,000 penalty without a signed contract. But here's the obvious question. How would that £5,000 be enforced without lawful authority? You'd have to go through the very same court enforcement system you're arguing against. When you break it down logically, that argument doesn't really stand.
You can post a letter. I'd like to take this opportunity before you do to let you know it's £250 per item received as well.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Would you like to take the letter yourself, sir?
No, I don't want anything from you. I've got no business with you. While you're making your company money, they will stand there and they'll support you. And that's great. But as soon as you bring a problem to their door, they'll back off and say you're acting on your own capacity. So as long as you're aware of my terms and my conditions and the fee schedule placed on my property, then you want to be careful not to be contracting with me, because it will come back to you.
There's also a contradiction here. If legality only exists when someone signs a contract, then simply refusing to sign anything would supposedly cancel every legal obligation. That's not how statutory law works. Many obligations arise from legislation, not private agreements.
As long as you're aware. Why is that? Show me the warrant. Because it's not a warrant, is it? What it is it's a printed document from a Northampton bulk centre. It has no name to it, no printed wet ink signature.
I can show you the warrant. I'm allowed to show you the warrant.
Yeah, I live here, yeah.
Would you like to see it?
Yes, I would. Okay. Because I know it's not legally binding, so...
It's come from the Traffic Enforcement Office, sir.
I've got no business with them or with you, so... It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what you've got on your screen. It's not legally enforceable. You know that, don't you?
Let's clear something up. There's no general legal requirement for a debt warrant to contain a handwritten, wet ink signature. A warrant doesn't even have to be physically printed on paper. Courts have recognized stamped and electronic signatures as valid for decades. If someone genuinely doubts the authenticity of a warrant, the proper step is simple. Contact the issuing court directly and verify it.
Listen, I don't want to cause you problems, but I don't want you getting into trouble either. And you're trespassing, you're causing distress. We've got vulnerable people living here, okay? I've told you you're trespassing. I told you I will fine you and issue a fine. You've touched my car. It's got nothing to do with you. It's not your property to touch. That can constitute vandalism. It doesn't matter what you got on your screen.
It doesn't matter what I'm recording though, sir. There was no vandalism.
I'm recording too. Well, yeah, you've touched something that don't belong to you. You've got no right to do that.
I'm a certified enforcement agent, sir.
Yeah, you're an enforcement agent. That means nothing. You work for a corporation. That means nothing. There is no contract or obligation between anyone at this household with your company, okay? There's no initial contract either with London Highways England or whatever it is.
So what's the relationship to K2?
I'm a partner, not that it's anything to do with you, but...
You've just told me, so...
Yeah, I told you I had goodwill. Because I'm trying to be polite, I'm trying to keep it polite.
Accusing someone of vandalism for briefly touching a vehicle, especially when they are acting under lawful authority, may not be the strongest position to take. Disagreement doesn't automatically equal criminal damage.
We're trying to keep it polite.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it polite. You do know, an Englishman's home is his castle, you know that. If you're trespassing, we've got a right to use reasonable force. You're aware of that as well, are you?
If an enforcement agent arrived without a warrant, that would be a completely different scenario. But when they are acting under lawful authority, attempting to use force to remove them could quickly escalate into serious legal trouble.
Because I know you're an enforcement agent, but you're not aware of the law, are you?
Sir, really?
No, sir. You don't need to try and really, mate. You need to be aware of your actions and what you're doing and the consequences of your actions. Because I've made it clear to you what my intentions will be. You will be issued a fine for trespassing on my property. You don't think I'll go ahead with it? I will be sending an invoice.
I don't know why you're being like this when I've just come to the address.
Why I'm being like this? Because you've turned up to my address with no contract or proof of obligation. You're touching my car. It's got nothing to do with you.
Swear words are starting to come out to get frustrated. I can't understand.
Yeah, because you don't know the...
You've implied a threat as well.
Implied a threat. I've made you aware of what your rights are, and you haven't got no rights to be in my property without authorization. You haven't got the correct documentation. You've got a little pretend warrant that isn't issued by a court. It isn't issued by a judge. It doesn't have a wet ink signature. There's no contract with me and your company, or my partner and your company. There's no obligation to pay you anything. You're aware of that, yeah? Speak to your superiors if you're not sure, because otherwise it will come back on you.
And so the waiting game continues, hovering near the vehicle and hoping the tow truck doesn't return. That's it for this breakdown from Trial Tactics TV. If you want more real-world enforcement and legal analysis content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.